Hello everyone, welcome back to Daily Dollars. Today, we're covering a critical update regarding the policy reversal announced by SSA that will result in some beneficiaries having their entire monthly check withheld to repay overpayments. For many, these overpayments were not their fault, yet they are now being held responsible for the government's mistakes. Today, we'll break down what's happening, why this matters, and most importantly, what you can do if you receive an overpayment notice. But before we get into the details, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more Social Security updates. Alright, let's dive in. The issue of Social Security overpayments isn't new. Over the years, the SSA has mistakenly paid beneficiaries more than they were entitled to, either due to administrative errors or because beneficiaries failed to update their income or personal information. Historically, the SSA has recovered overpayments by withholding benefits, sometimes taking 100% of a recipient's monthly Social Security check until the debt was repaid. Recognizing the financial hardship this caused, the agency under the previous administration implemented a more lenient policy, limiting collections to 10% of a recipient's monthly benefit instead of taking the full amount. However, on March 7, the SSA reversed this policy, reinstating the 100% withholding rule. This means that, starting March 27, any beneficiary who has been overpaid could see their entire Social Security check withheld until their debt is fully repaid. The scale of this issue is significant. Between 2015 and 2022, the SSA issued nearly $72 billion in improper payments, the majority of which were overpayments. By the end of 2023, there was still $23 billion in uncollected overpayments. Many beneficiaries only find out they were overpaid years later, after they've already spent the money, believing they were receiving the correct amount. Some have even received letters demanding repayment of tens of thousands of dollars without warning. Here are a couple of real-life cases that highlight just how devastating these overpayment notices can be. A woman who received survivor benefits as a child was later billed for $62,000 in overpayments. She had no idea the benefits she received years ago were incorrect. A disabled veteran with bipolar disorder received a notice demanding $67,000. The SSA had previously told him there were no issues with his payments, but years later he was informed he owed a massive debt. Many of these beneficiaries are retired or living on fixed incomes, meaning they have no way to repay such large amounts, especially if their entire monthly benefit is withheld. The reality is that many of these overpayments are the result of bureaucratic errors, not fraud or intentional wrongdoing by beneficiaries. Yet, the burden of repayment is being placed on those who can least afford it. If you receive a notice from the SSA stating that you were overpaid, do not ignore it. You have options. 1. Request a waiver. If you believe the overpayment was not your fault and you cannot afford to repay it, you can request a waiver. If approved, you will not have to repay the debt. 2. Negotiate a payment plan. Instead of having 100% of your benefits withheld, you can request a lower repayment rate. The SSA may allow you to repay in smaller, more manageable installments. 3. Appeal the overpayment decision. If you believe the SSA is wrong about the overpayment, you have the right to appeal. You can challenge both the fact that you were overpaid and the amount they claim you owe. To take any of these steps, contact the SSA immediately after receiving a notice. There are strict deadlines for appeals and waivers, so acting quickly is crucial. This policy change has already sparked pushback. Some lawmakers are calling for reforms to prevent seniors from being unfairly penalized. For example, Senator Ruben Gallego has introduced legislation that would prevent the SSA from collecting overpayments that are more than 10 years old. He argues that seniors should not be held responsible for decades-old government mistakes. Meanwhile, financial experts say the government needs to focus on fixing its systems to prevent overpayments in the first place. Instead of punishing beneficiaries, they argue the SSA should improve its processes to ensure payments are accurate from the start. This is a developing situation, and we'll continue to monitor any new updates. If you found this information helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any crucial financial updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.